up is pack a bag. So we're good. Whenever you guys are ready.
Hi, I'm Dylan Curie, and these are my colleagues, James Sanfilippo, Jack Reedy, H.A. Joshi, and Marian Fuzio, and we're at Pack a Bag.
Over the summer, I went to a college-style camp that allowed us to do our own grocery shopping, but the only problem was that they specifically used reusable bags because there was a ban on plastic bags. This was only a problem for me because I really easily forget my bags at home and everything, and I have a lot of trouble remembering things. So I ended up losing about 16 bags and wasting, because each bag cost $1, I ended up wasting about $16 and $16 worth of plastic that could end up in like a landfill or something. And I also became part of a statistic of 77 out of 90 people who we interviewed that forgot their reusable bags every time they go to the grocery store. Plastic bags kill 100,000 marine animals every year, and Americans use 100 billion plastic bags per year, which equates to 12 million barrels of oil that are needed to manufacture for that.
So this is Karen, our target market. Karen is a middle-aged mom who is married with 2 kids. Karen likes to shop at high-end food stores such as Heinen's and Aldi's. Her annual income is about $100,000 per year, and she's also on social media platforms such as Facebook and Instagram. She's also very environmentally friendly. So here's our solution to forgetting your reusable bags. Pack a bag. It's very small and compact, so it can fit almost anywhere, such as in a woman's purse or in your car cup holder. It's convenient because it uses an easy tissue-style opening lid that you can just unscrew to shove the bags back in when you're done using them. It's environmentally friendly because it'll be made out of reused ocean plastic, and the bags will be made out of nylon material. Not to mention, it'll be durable and portable.
So, as Jack was saying, this is our rough prototype, and to use Pack a Bag, all you have to do is simply take the bag out, and the bag comes out, and then once you're done with the bags and you go home, all you need to do is to just stuff the bag back in. And it comes with 5 reusable bags inside of the container.
So here's our pricing strategy. The canister will cost $25, that includes 5 bags. And the reason we got this price is because from our 90 interviews, a majority of the people suggested around $25 would be a good price. And in case you lose a few bags, it'll be $8 for 3 replacement bags. And here are our direct and indirect competitors, Bag Pods. Bag Pods is very big and bulky, and it's not very portable. Also, our indirect competitor, just reusable bags, are very bulky when you try to fold them up.
Us compared to bag pods, there's a major difference. Our price, we're going to be $10 less than bag pods. We're also going to be much smaller. So the holder volume, that would be around 100 inches, but bag pods would be around 150 inches, 50 inches bigger, which isn't very good. For bag size, our bags will be much bigger because it's made out of nylon, so it'll be able to stretch more. And we're going to be made out of recycled material. While bag pods is environmentally friendly material, it isn't recycled material like ours will be. Our total addressable market will be around $2 billion. This is just recycled bags in the U.S. Our serviceable addressable market will be more geared towards environmentally friendly and more portable and things like that. We think in the first fully operational year, we can make around $75,000. And this market will only be growing because many cities and states are banning or taxing plastic bags, pushing people towards using reusable bags. The best way we think to reach Karen will be through Amazon, Heinen's, and Aldi's. Selling it at Heinen's makes sense because they would be shopping there more commonly than any other place. Aldi's makes you pay for plastic bags. Amazon makes sense because most women I know shop at Amazon. So to spread the word about Pack a Bag, we think Facebook targeted ads will be the best way. It'll cost around 27 cents per click, and we think this is the best way because a lot of moms will know use Facebook. We think Facebook groups would be good too because a lot of environmental groups stay at Facebook, so it would be a great idea to target there and converse with them.
So for our MVP, we will be testing our design risk and our market risk. we are testing our design risk to make sure that we have the right features and that everyone likes it so we can get the best product. We will also be testing the market risk because we know a lot of people have expressed interest in our product, but we want to know, will people actually buy our product? So to test our design risk, we will start and we will 3D print 10 models of these, and which will come with the 5 bags. And to start in the beginning, we will hand them out to 10 family members and friends, and they will test them for 2 weeks. And then at the end of those 2 weeks, we will bring them in together for personal interviews, and they can provide us feedback and what they think and what we can improve on. And then we will also bring them in for one big focus group so they can all share their ideas together. And we will be doing that over a course, and it will repeat with different people each time. And then to test our market risk, we will be going outside of Heinen's, and we will be standing there with Pack-A-Bag, and we will be presenting Pack-A-Bag. And then if people would like to know more about our product, and if they express an interest in it, we will ask for their emails. And if they don't want to provide their email, we'll ask them why and why they don't like it, so we know what we can fix. So our goal is to have 50 in-depth users of this by May, so we can make sure we have a very good final design and it works for everybody. And then our other goal is to have 150 emails total to show that people are really interested in this.
So some of our costs are $120 for 60 reusable bags, which equates to $10 for every 5 bags that we buy. So another cost is going to be for 3D printing. My 3D printer I already have, so it doesn't cost anything for that, but I need to buy 3D printer filament, which is $20 per roll, which is 1 kilogram, and each print of our product is 0.2 kilograms. And I have to factor in some misprints because sometimes 3D printers can be slightly inaccurate, so that's always an issue. And it's also going to be $300 for a professional CAD software designer with up to 7 revisions because we're going to be getting info from focus groups. And also we need this because I'm very, I guess, like elementary with my skills in CAD design, and it would definitely help our product if we had a better design.
So all in all, this comes to about $620 total.
Timeline. By early January, we hope to have our our initial CAD design, and by mid-January, we want to test these designs for our customer demos so that we can see what they like about our product and what they don't like so that we can change it. By the end of May, or this will go until May, and during the demos, we'll come together and we'll talk about the things that they like and the things that they don't like so that we can finalize our design. And by the end of May, we'll hire a professional CAD designer to create our final product. And by the end of this period, we hope to reach our initial goals of 50 in-depth users and 150 pre-orders.
Pack-A-Bag. Save the earth while saving time.
Cool idea. Did 5 bags really fit in that thing?
Yeah.
When you pulled the one out, it just seemed so like it.
This is a rough design right now, but we think we can make it possible.
Okay, so.
Can you take me back in time, when you came up with this problem to solve and you were talking to others who had similar problems? What was their biggest hurdle? James, what was your biggest hurdle to using a reusable bag when you were at the store?
I guess it wasn't that like I didn't want to use it, it was just that I kept forgetting it when I would go to the store and I'd have to buy a new one.
Okay, so it's just having it be top of mind is a forgetting issue. So what do people do to remind themselves, to remember?
Well, right now when we interview people, they're so big, so they just leave them in their trunk. And then when they go to the store, they always forget them. And then they end up using the plastic bags. So they never actually use their reusable bags. So this is why ours would be up front in the cup holder, or it could fit in your purse, so that it's always there with you and it's in your sight.
So I'm hearing you say they're forgetting, it's a
Yeah.
hurdle, and the bulkiness or the size
Yeah.
of the bags right now, they're out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
So you want to be more in sight, top of mind, because they're not the kind of things that's going to be stuck in your trunk.
Yeah.
It's gonna be up front.
In your design, would it be easy to make like a 5-pack, one like that, and then maybe put one that's half the size and have it be a 2-pack or a
Two bags,
3-pack?
yeah.
I would guess that it'd be a good interview question to see, how many bags people take with them when they're going shopping at a place like Heinen's, and if they need 5 all the time, and if maybe they had something half the size that fit twice as well in their purse or their console, they may be more inclined to purchase it.
So something that triggered when you said Aldi, because you have to bring your bags there, but you also have to pay a quarter to use a cart at Aldi. So I thought it could be an interesting ad to have like a coin compartment or something, and that would also trigger people to have to grab it before they go in because they need to get the quarter to get their cart. But something you might want to also research is I read a statistic that it takes somebody up to 100 times to use a reusable bag to negate the environmental impact of making the plastic bag. So you might want to look at that statistic specifically because you're looking at using reusable materials, and I think that could become a leg up on you all. Because we're making all these reusable bags, but then people have to use them up 100 times before they actually save the earth, if you will.
And if I could build on Michelle's comments, I think that perhaps if we really dig into why do people forget? And it's not that hard to walk from the store back to your trunk and pick up your bags, but I'm guilty of doing that, doesn't matter. Is there a way to make people care more? So if you do continue with this model, you've got some pretty interesting real estate in your hands. So can you do something from a messaging perspective that reminds people why it's worth your time and worth your mental energy to do this? It's not just about pack a bag, but is it because you're going to save a turtle from this future of having a plastic straw or plastic bag in its nose that it can't extricate itself? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So can you make us care more so that we won't be as forgetful?
I think that's a great idea.
Either that or also your price point seems kind of high to me at 25, but like maybe part of that price point goes to a cause that is
Cleaning
helping
up the
do this.
ocean.
Yeah. So, I think, again, that's also a very big value proposition for a marketplace today. Whereas if it's going to benefit a cause, that could also be part of your thing. So if there's a way for you to get feedback on some of that, that'd be useful. Can you go to like the brass tacks of exactly what you're doing? Because I got some questions about, so you have a big investment needed for the final CAD design. When you're gonna do this original one and do your test with a smaller subset, you're gonna do that one on your own?
No, so we purchased the CAD design in the beginning, and then the person that we choose, you can have up to 7 revisions.
Okay.
So then after each focus group, we can go back to them and we can tell them to revise it.
Okay.
And then after the end, by May, we'll have our finals.
So what are you testing with, I understand the investment in the CAD design, but before you even do that, do you want to know first if people would actually use this? Because it's easier to tote?
So basically, like the 7 revisions and stuff, so basically what that's saying is we're gonna make a base standard model, and then after the 2 weeks that they test the model out, they're gonna give us feedback, and then we'll adjust it from there.
Can I suggest something really even more rudimentary than that? Because I don't think we know enough, or you know enough, if the whole concept is even worth the investment of a CAD design. And bless you that you already have a 3D printer, but whether it's even worth all the materials. I mean, can you use recycled Pringles canisters and put a better message along that, along with your logo? And use the money instead to buy whatever recyclable bags, do a 2-pack as well as a 5-pack, and just test that out before you need to get into the world of CAD design and printing. And, I mean, I know that's a very rough thing, but does that replicate the service, the benefit that you might be wanting to test? Fit in the cup holder in the car?
I don't know. I mean, that's, so the challenge is there a cheaper way to do your prototype to get your test? That's our full question. Can you go to one of the CAD folks here in school, one of the project lead the way people who are using CAD design, and potentially that'd be another cheaper way if you're wanting to do that. I don't know.
A 2-pack of Pringles costs $3. And you get the Pringles. You get to pick your flavors too. You don't have to do that, but that's just something to consider.
So you need to design some sort of a prototype, and you're going to be doing like a small test, to Margarita's point, to see if they're going to actually use this and do it, right?
Yeah.
And how many customers do you want to get for that? And that'll take place in January, how many?
50 for the in-depth focus groups, and 150 people we want to have them like buy into pack-a-bag through like in-person demos and hires.
But we want you to get these in people's hands.
Yeah.
Some form of this, we want it in people's hands, and we want it for 2 to 3 weeks, and then you want to survey them or focus group them to get all the data, right? And so your goal is 50 people for that?
Yeah.
So you need 50 prototypes in some working fashion that's going to be close enough to replicate this, whether it be a Pringle can or something that's 3D designed, right?
I guess just my concern is by the time you get your CAD designs and the printing the way you want it, we may be looking at what month would that be?
By May. That's
Okay,
when we would
and
have our
by
final
May,
design.
you have to have your results in so you can put your pitch, investor pitch together. So we've lost January, February, March, April to only building the thing and not getting feedback and response on is it of value?
We would have the initial design done by the end of January,
Yeah.
and the 10 models printed.
Yeah.
So then we would test those 10 models
Okay.
with 10 people,
Right.
and then once those 10 people provide our feedback, we would go back and we would edit the designs, and then we would print 10 more and then keep going with that.
All right, so think about where you want to spend your energy. You want to spend it on the CAD design and printing these, or actually getting some faster version out there so you can find out where the value is and where there isn't value. I'm okay with doing some sort of a cap budget and
Where's the total? Can you go to your page with all the total costs that needed?
Like all these?
Yeah, so it's 600 total, so it's 3 for this, yeah, and then 3, and then what back being the rest of it. So 2 for the materials, and then 120 for the bags, right? Okay, that gets you to 6. Okay.
And again, that's message real estate right there. If you can, beyond the logo, why should people care
Yeah.
about this?
Carlos, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think I'm liking the Pringles can idea, as long as you don't do the sour cream and onion ones.
Put some Altoid mints at the bottom to get that aroma.
It's really, yeah, because, I don't know, I mean,
Oh, a tennis ball can.
Yeah,
There's
that's.
tennis
Plastic
ball,
one.
yeah.
I think you can mock do this in some form or fashion with those first 10.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sorry, I was just
Yeah, your
like, Pringles
solution
is not
is
working
the
for me, but
convenience.
like, I'm
Yeah.
thinking a tennis ball can, like that might work better.
Because that's the benefit I hear you guys offering,
Yeah.
is the convenience. I mean, most cars have got 2 cup holders in the front, so if one of them can hold that and it's not as intrusive. I mean, Nick offered up, is there a smaller one, version?
well, the Pringles comes
They've
in
got
2 sizes.
2 sizes, there you go. There's another vote for
Yeah.
Pringles.
Yeah.
I have
So-
no stock in Pringles.
I think that all 3 of those items that comprise your MVP can be scaled downward, and you can maybe get 80 or 90% of the way through the prototype, spending half those costs, buying half the bags, maybe half the turns with the CAD design, or maybe someone in high school can design, no offense, but that's it's a cylinder, it's kind of a standard shape, and maybe they'd be able to design like a very rudimentary prototype first without having to pay for anything, and using less materials to get your first 10, and maybe you get enough feedback off of that, you may not need to use it all. I mean, I'm supportive of the
Yeah.
600, but maybe use it,
Yeah.
Different
stages.
So start with like 10 of these and then get the feedback on that.
Right.
And I would
And then-
pump that number up, actually.
Yeah.
I would say get more than 10, I think you can find more than 10 people
Yeah.
to give you feedback. And I'm just gonna challenge you on focus group methodology. You actually, in this instance, you probably wanna get more people, like 20 to 30, and actually supplement maybe some focus group, which is your qualitative feedback with survey data from them. Because then you can get some real statistical information of how many times did they use it in those couple of weeks. It's gonna be easier for you to tabulate all that, et cetera, et cetera.
So what are we saying? A cap of, pick a number,
I mean,
cap of 3?
$200 gets you how many bags? Or how many containers?
we don't know because they're gonna have to mock do it or get someone to do a CAD design. You're still gonna need some 3D printing, so. I mean, I would have said 3, maybe I don't know, randomly said half, it's 300
Right,
is your cap. If after you get 10 prototypes or 20 prototypes and you get great feedback and you're like, oh my gosh, we need to get an actual design,
Get
ask
pre-orders,
away.
start
Yeah.
selling them. So how about we do a cap of 3? Find the more ad hoc versions, whether they're tennis ball canisters or Pringles
Pringles.
canisters. See what kind of feedback, traction you can get from there. And if you are finding that you're setting the world on fire, and yes, you should be printing some out, you could let Hogs know and we'll respond.
Okay.
Does that work?
Is that right?
We honored it.
Cool, great.
Thank you guys, good job.